Warning. This podcast is not affiliated or associated with Wasteland Weekend in any way. It is an independent podcast owned and operated by Game Rage Magazine, LLC. The views expressed in this podcast are solely those of the participants and in no way represent the views or speak for Wasteland Weekend or Game Rage Magazine.
In the case of nuclear or radiological fallout, people living around potential targets such as military bases and chemical plants may be advised to evacuate. Protection from radioactive fallout will require taking shelter in an underground area.
Join us as we plunge into madness and descend into the waste.
Oh, man. Oh, I haven't heard that song in a hot minute.
What up, body people?
Yeah, that's right.
I have to, I'm probably biased as fuck, but I think that is the coolest intro you have.
You know, you might be right. It's pretty
really
goddamn. It's pretty goddamn sweet.
I'm pretty sure I'm biased, but it's pretty fucking rad.
Anyways, to our beloved listeners who blew up the first two episodes, and it's been about 18 months since we've done the podcast.
Yeah,
and we've had to wait and schedule and but it's just gonna make it that much sweeter. So this is Into the Waste, episode number 3.
Really fucking late.
The 2023 Wasteland Weekend recap episode to discuss all things that happened at Wasteland Weekend 2023. If you're a fan of us that has listened since the beginning, or if you're a new listener, my name is Josh. I'm here today with Adam.
Howdy.
And I'm also here today with my lovely, amazing wife, who is named Sparky.
Hi.
At Wasteland. Yeah.
I was gonna say you should have introduced her first, and then us.
Oh, that's true. All right. Well, whatever. Too bad.
We fucked it up.
Yeah, we fucked it up. All right. Listen,
now we're
I
good.
see where the priorities really
no
lie.
one said that this was a professional organization.
That's
okay,
true.
I mean, we're not lying here. We're not hiding behind.
Yeah.
Let's not stand on ceremony here.
Well, yeah, but it's to illustrate the degree of importance of our guest.
Oh, she's not the guest. She's the star of the show.
True. This is also true.
My head's getting big.
Yeah.
Oh, good. Great. Now I'm gonna have to deal with that.
All right. This is a long overdue episode.
Yeah.
I've been waiting for the tea and everything that is the Wasteland Weekend that we have come to know through Katie. Sparky. Sorry.
Yeah.
We got home. My voice was gone. Like we all said, it was gonna be like 2 weeks, and then the fucking holidays hit. When you have a kid and you're working, and just time got away from us.
Yeah, pretty much. So let's start.
You got the questions right. You have.
Well, yeah, I have questions or a format here of how we're gonna go.
All right,
Okay.
take
But
the lead.
do you have any? Do you have questions? I assume.
No, I'm gonna let you take the lead.
You're just gonna ask stuff as it comes
I
along,
just want to
right?
preface with this: I have no fucking idea what you're gonna ask me.
Oh, okay. Well,
But this was not I have no idea what's gonna be asked.
yeah. All right. So let's just start at the beginning. Let's go day 0.
Okay.
Which is
Setup day.
No, not even setup.
Oh, not
day.
even setup day.
This is. Let's talk about me for a minute, okay?
God, of course.
Let's
Here
talk-
we go.
No.
Let's talk about
This is why he introduced himself first. Let's be real.
Yeah.
Let's talk about my sacrifice
Oh my God! All right.
in the blood that I spilled. But that's not the world's smallest violin. I'll have you know. Yeah. Okay. Basically, everybody knows the setup, so they know what happens. So what happens when you get there? You drive out there. And what happens when you show up?
Well, this year was a little different because our spot was taken.
Oh no.
So I pull up and I found out from my other tribe mate, and he said, you need to go check in. Some vendor decided that our spot looked good and just wanted it. And we said, well, that's our spot. So I pull up there, and the lovely lady who runs all the tribes, she's like, I had to kick him out. And he tried arguing with me. He's like, no, the spot's fucking taken. Like, you can't have it. So luckily by the time we got there, our spot was open. But I was the first to arrive. So I got there, the guys come down from Washington, so they have a fucking truck. So I got there and I just started unloading all the shit. And I just want to point out, Joshua always goes, oh God, the sacrifice of loading the U-Haul. I'm such a big, strong, tough man, and it's so hard. I unloaded that bitch by myself. All of it. The bike, the sidecar, the poles, everything.
Well, you know what? Let's just give you a round of applause.
Thank you. Where's my applause?
Let's
I
give you a
need
round of
it.
applause. There you go.
Thank you.
There you go.
Thank you. Here's my come up.
Great
I
job.
needed that shit.
Great job.
And then the best thing about day one is we got rid of our old military tent.
Oh, yeah. I know.
Fucking A, dude.
Thank God I never have to load that thing again.
So, do we even talk about that the last episode?
I think I told you that you needed to not come back with it. I think that's what I said.
You've said that to me for the last like 5 years.
Oh, I think I was very specific in the last episode that you are to not come back with that.
Well, we did sell it. It went to a great home. It went to Makeshift of Duke of the Nukes. He's the one that does all the Wasteland videography. He has his own Wasteland podcast, YouTube channel, all of it. So it went to a really great home. And I'm so fucking glad we don't have to call that bitch anymore.
Yeah, so am I. So you get there day one or day zero, setup day, and you get everything going. The guys eventually get there. The rest of the crew.
We worked for setup until probably 2 a.m, I want to say.
What time did they get there that night?
Fuck, I can't remember. Probably like 7 or 8.
Okay, so you're popping in 6 good hours of setting up after you've already unloaded everything.
Yes. Because I can't set that shit up by myself. So then we had to use the floodlights. That helped us out tremendously. But we worked probably 1 or 2 in the morning.
Okay, and then now during this setup, did anyone get any CTE damage? Did anyone get any injuries, like concussions? Like
You know what? No. I mean, we all had our normal scrapes, bruises, and cuts, and probably burns, but no one, ended up in med tent
no
this time.
major injuries this time.
No, surprising.
Man, shocking.
I mean, I did get blood. I did scrape my leg pretty good on my psoriasis, so I just gave the Wasteland gods their blood sacrifice that I try to give them to every year.
You got it right out of the gate.
Yeah, like, because I scraped the shit. I mean, like, I forgot about that. I scraped the fucking shit out of my leg trying to get the bike out.
Yeah.
And it was just going down my leg. And, I have psoriasis. So cutting in my psoriasis just makes me bleed like
right. Now,
I'm a blood thinner. So I gave the blood sacrifice.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's good. So then just so I'm clear, this was Tuesday, right?
Yes.
Okay.
It was
so
Tuesday.
the event doesn't actually start till the next day on Wednesday. So then when you guys get done at whatever, 2 a.m, what's your next plan? Do you guys just sit there and bask in your accomplishments
we
of
went
putting
the
this
fuck
up?
to sleep and then woke up at 6 a.m. to finish
God
setting
damn.
up.
All right. So you wake up at 6 a.m.
Because we just woke up. I mean, it was the excitement of being at Wasteland.
Yeah.
It's the sun rises, you're up. And we just got up and we cracked on and got more shit set up.
So
we have
then-
a big setup. And we only had 3 people this year.
Oh, okay. So yeah, that's a big difference.
That's a huge difference. So there was 3 of us, and we normally have minimum of 4, and we always say we needed more than that. So we only had 3 to do a shit ton of work this year. We got it done though, and on time.
Right.
But we were tired.
Okay. So then you wake up at 6 on Wednesday and you guys do your finishing up.
Yes.
So the event starts at what time on Wednesday? Is it
Well,
noon?
it used to be noon, but this year they didn't do the gate opening, I think, until 2:00, which was kind of nice because it gave us that extra time to get shit ready to go.
Yeah. Okay. So that gave you a little extra time.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. So during that day, are you guys just trying to stay out of the sun and...
Well, you know what? The weather this year was fucking weird. I was going to talk about this later, but this was, and please don't quote me on this, but I know for me, at least personally, the event's been going on how many years now? 13 years.
Okay.
Not including 2020. This was my 11th year. This was the coldest wasteland I've ever been to.
So midday temperatures at the peak of...
At the peak, the peak of the event was probably low 90s. So it wasn't really bad. It was actually really nice.
Yeah.
But then Friday and Saturday I was in long pants and a jacket all day long. I think the high was 70, but there's a breeze and it was cold.
Yeah.
So it wasn't too unbearably hot this year, which was nice.
Overall, well, let me just get out of the way of saying the most offensive word in the wasteland. How was the wind overall?
Don't you dare!
I don't believe in that shit.
Give a fucking blood sacrifice right now, you piece of shit. No, I'm just kidding.
No, I'm not beholden to these rules.
There was a breezy day. I don't remember exactly which day it was. I think it was probably Thursday or Friday, but it wasn't too bad. It wasn't anything compared to 19 or 16.
Which
I feel
those were
like
the
it's
years where
every
it was
3 years or 4 years, every third year of the event. It happened in 16 and it happened in 19. And technically this would be 4 years, but we didn't have the event in 2020. So it's I've had the superstition now that's every 3 years we're going to have a breezy, but nothing substantial damage wise. It was just more of all right, here it is. It's kicking up and saying hello, but it wasn't anywhere near what it's been in the past.
Okay. So far, everything's looking pretty good. This is
dandy.
Wednesday. You guys are set up. The gate's open. What's your guys' move when the gates open? Are you just chilling, waiting for people to come to you?
I usually watch the gates open. I just like to watch the gates open. I think it's kind of fun. It's something I try to do every year.
What does that entail?
So they have the actual. So we've talked about it before, where Wasteland City proper is behind gates, and that's what the ceremonial gate opening is. We're in the theme zone, which is right outside the gates, and then after us is completely open camping.
Okay.
Excuse me. So they do actually have 2 large gates. They have the elite guard standing up there. They have all the cars. Anybody, like, I could be in the ceremony if I wanted to get on my bike, but it's too loud and crowded for me. And I'm in a little bike and it scares me. But they have like a big parade of cars and all the different vehicles. People walk in. Usually they'll say something. The one that sticks out of my mind was a couple years ago when they had a Morton Joe come up and say, "Do not, my friend, become addicted to Wasteland because he will resent its absence." And that still sticks in my mind so many years later. But they'll usually do a quick little show. They have the drummers out there, which just really sets the tone. Once you hear those drums going, you know the event's about to fucking start. And they usually drum for about 15, 20 minutes before the gates open. So you hear those drums, you know it's time to get up to the front. And put on like a little show.
What is it? Just a bunch of war boys with bass drums?
There's no. It's a group called the Badlands Savages.
Okay.
They're fucking amazing. They go out in full costume and they have those, not little, I mean, you have those big fucking, I don't know what they're called. Like they're probably 3 or 4 feet across and they just bang the shit out of those bitches. It's really, really rad.
Awesome. Okay. So gates open, everybody floods in. Where were you guys at in relation to the gate?
We were in a different spot this year.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it was a little different than last year. We were a little bit around the corner from the gates this time. So my understanding is, and I don't speak for Wasteland and Corp or the company, I don't want to get in trouble. But my kind of understanding is that they wanted to take a lot of where tribes have been in the last couple of years and completely move them.
Okay.
So then people had to wander around more and figure out where they were, which was interesting. You know, when you come like a Garage Hill veteran like me, I like walking in and knowing where to go.
Yeah.
But it did force me to wander more, but I do wander anyway because I like to see everything. We met some new people because of it, but a lot of the people that have coming to us for years were like, "Where the fuck are you? We couldn't find you." And so a lot of people find us on like Friday, like, "We've been fucking looking for you." And I was like, "Well, I have no control. I'm in a new spot."
Yeah.
But it made people wander around. So it was a good 50-50 change. Like it was different, but a lot of the people that like wanted to find us did find us eventually because they had to wander to look for us.
All right. Well, that's good. So day one, how many people do you think run through your booth?
It's so hard to say.
Or your camp, I guess is what it's called.
It's so hard to say. I'm not at the camp 24/7. None of us are at the camp 24/7. I mean, it was a decent crowd. I'll say that. I mean, anywhere between 50 and 75 people probably.
Right. Plus, you guys have the attraction of
we have the arch and then we have the barter.
Right. So that's going to draw.
And usually day one isn't super crowded, you know.
Okay.
But like Thursday and Friday are usually like our busier days. And that's when we had people. We had a couple different people pull up in their car. "We've been fucking looking for the arch. I wanted to see that. I can't wait to fucking do it." Yeah. I will say the warmer days we did get a lot through the arch. Obviously Friday night and like Saturday we got no one. We actually did have someone walk through on Saturday just because like this was on their Wasteland bucket list, which was fucking rad as fuck to hear.
That is pretty cool.
Yeah, they're like, "This is something we needed to do this year. Like, I'm going to do it even though it's fucking balls cold. Like, because I need to do this."
So I know we talked about being Wasteland Famous before, but do you think that qualifies you guys as Wasteland Famous? If your thing is on bucket list? Okay, but your camp is responsible for it. So,
but I'm not responsible for the arch too. I can't take any credit for the arch.
Well, listen, yes, good buddy of the show, #1 listener, Rotten. I mean, well, behind the Belgians.
Rotten's the only one that's been talking to me about like, where the fuck is the next podcast? I'm like, "It's coming, Rotten. It's coming. I'm sorry."
Yeah, so he can rest easy. You know, I may just send this to him early so he can just
he can get
rest
a sneak
easy.
preview of it. I can't take any credit for it. I know people know him now because of it. And sincerely, I can't take any credit for it. He does 90% of the barter. He does the arch on his own. I'm just helping them run the show.
Right.
So I'd say I think the arch has definitely become famous. And I'd say people are really starting to recognize him for the arch.
But as a team, it's a team effort nonetheless.
Yeah, of course. You know, like I haul out a lot of the stuff. We all build it together collaboratively that one.
Yeah.
As a team.
I think I know what you're saying.
But yeah, he is the mastermind behind it, and definitely the arch is becoming known. The arch is definitely becoming known.
Well, that's definitely good. So, anyways, back to day one. You guys are.
Day one's pretty chill. I mean, day one isn't really a lot of going out and doing crazy stuff. It's a lot of just kind of hanging back at our camp, waiting for people to come say hi.
What time do you guys kind of shut down your stuff?
I think day one, at stuff like closing up our camp, it's sundown.
Okay, so sunset, is that pretty standard throughout the event?
Wasteland? Absolutely not.
In the city area?
Absolutely not. City is open usually 24/7.
So you guys are in the minority with...
It depends, because a lot of the I'm gonna take a sip of water. Hydrate.
Yeah, that's true. You should always hydrate.
You have to understand a lot of the camps, and that's actually something that makes us very unique.
Okay.
Is a lot of the camps in the city are nighttime camps. So if you're walking around during the day, sometimes it'll say fuck off.
Yeah.
They don't have a lot to offer during the day. I know some camps like Duke's do a lot of lore stuff. You can do like gun running. You can do all that kind of fun stuff.
Right. Okay.
DXC has like a nice little lounge. You can sit with some ceiling fans to kind of sit and relax and chill out. But a lot of them are open at night. A lot of them have the DJs and the parties and the bars and the games and all of that kind of stuff. We're in the minority of the fact that we're open during the day. So if you need something or somewhere to go during the day, we're open all day long for you.
Yeah. Okay.
So we're the minority of that fact, but it's not like a negative minority.
Got it. Okay. So then you guys shut down about sunset. What's your guys' game plan after that for the night?
We just kind of hung out. We went up to the stage. We wandered around, kind of check out the city. But we didn't really go crazy or anything. We did ABBA Power Hour because we always do.
What's that?
That's over at Rec Room when they do an hour-long dance party of ABBA music.
ABBA music?
ABBA music. Oh, fuck yeah.
In a post-apocalyptic world?
It's fucking amazing. You have not lived until you see burly-ass men in fucking mohawks and shoulder pads dancing their little hearts out to fucking Dancing Queen.
That sounds pretty awesome.
It's literally the best thing I've ever seen.
You and I know.
Oh, fucking amazing. I don't even know ABBA that well, but I go every year to watch it because it's fucking fantastic. And then he who shall not be named likes to get a little crazy in ABBA Power Hour. Let's just say a friend of mine.
Okay.
So
all right, now I gotta ask about so for I want to get spicy here for a second.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Dun, dun,
Not that we condone drugs. But Wasteland Weekend itself, are they prohibitive of substances, psychedelics?
Yes.
Oh.
They're prohibitive officially, right?
But
officially on record, absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, but
all legal laws are, there are real police officers there who stay, and this is what a lot of people don't understand. They stay very, very, very much on the outskirts.
Okay.
They're not there to be dicks. I am a big BLM supporter. I am not gung ho crazy, but I will tell you, all the officers that I have met there personally are very much on the outskirts and have been very hi, how you doing? And walk away. Mm-hmm. I mean, perfect example. It was 2 or 3 years ago. We're walking down the main street and I have a friend blow a giant cloud of weed. And this before it was recreationally illegal in California. And cops walk right past and don't even say a damn word. They just keep going. Okay. So are there people out there who partake
in things?
I'm sure.
Okay. And I'm not saying you're one of those people.
I am not.
Okay.
I am not.
Okay. But
I have in the past, but not at Wasteland. I stopped my drug use and partying when I was very much younger.
Just for the people that want to have a really good time. Is it accessible to find people where you can score these items?
I will tell you, I have been offered in the past.
Okay. All right.
So that's a yes. That's a definite yes.
That's enough for me.
I have been offered.
Yeah. All right. So if you're looking for it, you can find it.
I'm sure. I don't go looking for it. Yeah. I don't even really drink anymore. I'm not against it. I am so pro recreational use of psychedelics and of marijuana and drink till your heart's content. I'm very pro that.
In moderation.
In moderation, of course. Of course. Everything in moderation. But I drink out there and I have a damn good time drinking and I don't need to do much else.
Okay. I was just curious about that. 'Cause-
I will tell you, and that is where, you know, I don't speak for Wasteland.
Yeah.
I
No,
will
no,
tell
you
you
don't.
their official stance is absolutely, if it's illegal in the real world, it's illegal there.
yeah.
But I have been offered.
Yeah, I just figured because, you know, when people go out to something like that or Burning Man, I mean, not that on paper it's like prohibited or whatever.
course.
And mostly people go there with the intention of having a good time and then getting a little extra, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, let's put it this way. I went to a rave, I think, when I was like 19,
Yeah.
and I didn't go sober, but I got patted down at the gate entrance because
Okay.
I was supposed to go in sober.
Yeah.
You know, so it's anywhere you go with a big party, there's going to be a lot
Yeah.
of different people doing a lot of different things. As a community and as a whole and as an organization, obviously, it's not.
Yeah,
Condoned,
and
yeah.
it hasn't
Condoned.
been problematic because you kind of mentioned that the police
the police officer.
Yeah, the police, baby.
yeah, the police officers are on the outskirts and not really intervening so much, but
Right.
nothing has really ever escalated to the point where there was not riots, but people fighting amongst themselves. Like nothing's ever actually happened with that.
Where
or-
the police were actually
or-
having to be involved.
Yeah, or people have been busted for drugs or anything
You
like
know,
that.
and that I'm going to be completely honest with you. I've heard rumblings over the years. I don't know.
Okay.
A lot of that stuff isn't really publicized for reasons, you know, obvious.
yeah.
I will tell you personally, again, I'm not gung ho, yay, cops kind of thing.
Yeah.
But how do I word this properly? If there's someone out there being a complete fucking piece of shit for any reason, I don't care about drugs, but just being a fucking prick
Yeah,
for, you know,
being an asshole.
being an asshole
Yeah.
to extreme extents. I'm not sad if they're not there anymore.
Right,
If
yeah,
they
yeah.
get taken off property by that.
I got
I
you.
will tell you, our security team does a fucking amazing job. You know, I don't think cops are going in there doing drug busts. If that's your question.
All right.
Yeah, I don't think they're doing undercover buys. I mean, they come in uniform and they literally, I mean, not even just metaphorically, like they actually will stand on the outskirts of the event. I've seen them checking out cars and watching bands before and burlesque shows,
All right.
you know.
So the security, is that volunteer work from people within?
Majority of it is, yeah. So you can volunteer to Wasteland to get a free ticket. And so a lot of the security guards are volunteer based.
Okay. And I wonder about that a bit because then, you know, these people are volunteers and they have to be impartial. But if they are involved with certain camps or
Oh, of course.
like there is a bit of bias if something goes down.
But then again, they also have to be good standing with the event as well.
That's true.
So, you know, if it does come out that they were being overly unbiased,
Corruption.
yeah,
Right.
there's a whole underground gambling that I'm just kidding.
Yeah, because I mean, it is a little bit concerning to think, all right, well, if these people are volunteers and like, oh, we can get away, you know, if they belong to a camp or something,
Right.
then they're like, oh, you know what? Let me volunteer and see what I can do about
But
X,
then,
Y.
I can see that.
Yeah.
But then if it does come out like that, they're not in good standing. They're going to never
Yeah.
be able to volunteer again. They could be banned from the event very easily. You know, there would be real life repercussions.
So,
to
so there
being
is
fucking stupid.
there is like accountability
Of course.
amongst the community
of
itself.
course,
Yeah,
of course,
okay.
absolutely.
All right. Good to know for those of us that were
Wasteland
wondering.
definitely has a band hammer. Is not afraid.
Yeah, I
to
was
use
gonna
it.
say
A real life band.
It has a fucking band hammer.
that'd be sweet if they actually pull it out and when you get banned, you just get whacked with it.
Yeah.
I mean, I will say that I think there have been some unfair bans in the past,
Uh-huh.
and I won't go into further detail with that. But I also have seen a lot of quite fair bans that I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
I-
Well, just as with anything, it's never going to be 100%
100%.
across the board, good or bad.
100%.
You know? There's always going to be
100%.
some 50-50 in the middle, some weird shit that
Right.
just went the wrong way.
right.
All right. So back to night one.
Mm-hmm.
Did you guys go do anything other than the ABBA dance hour? Did you do any drinking?
Dance hour.
I mean, honestly, Adam, we may have to go
It's
just
fucking
to
amazing.
do the ABBA dance hour.
And I want to preface this as if you've been to Wasteland and if it was Thursday or Wednesday, my brain is so fried. I don't remember if it was Wednesday or Thursday that was ABBA. I want to say it was Wednesday.
Yeah,
but it
okay.
very well could have been Thursday.
We'll just say it's Wednesday.
Let's just say it Wednesday. What I was going to say about that is I saw my friend TK, shout out to Photo Daddy. Everyone calls him Photo Daddy. And he was standing there just kind of watching the ABBA Power Hour. And I came up and gave him a big hug. And I said, hey, there's our friend right there. And our friend doesn't like to be known that they partake in ABBA Power Hour.
So he took a bunch of pictures?
So he immediately takes his camera and takes lots of photographic evidence of said friend at ABBA Power Hour.
That's pretty sweet.
TK comes out the next morning all hungover and from his night and comes to check us in the morning and he goes, look what I already edited and had already edited said pictures. It was kind of glorious.
Who's the person that doesn't like to be?
I'm not going to say.
Oh, come on. The pictures are out there. Who cares?
Well, then they're going to have to look.
Man. God damn it.
Can we have a 20 questions so we could narrow it
Sounds
down?
like, looks like.
Yeah.
Man.
But yeah, no, I mean, it was walking around, getting kind of reacquainted to where everything was, having a couple drinks.
Okay, so now I do want to start the official Sparky Wasteland Weekend drinks tally. So night one or day one.
How would she know that? Like that's
she will know.
Why would
she would know to a certain extent. How many drinks did you have?
Night one, oh gosh. I think only like one or two. I didn't go crazy night one. I was really fucking tired.
Okay. So you're too tired from setting up and everything,
I was
so
really
you're just
fucking
like,
tired.
maybe I'll have one, maybe fall asleep a little bit, and then that's it. All right.
Thursday, no, ABBA was Wednesday because Thursday night was really fun.
What time did you go to bed on Wednesday night?
I want to say probably like 10. I crashed
10? Man,
out
that's
early.
pretty fucking early.
I crashed out early. We were fucking tired. 10, 11.
All right. 10, 11. So what time? So you guys are getting up with the sun, basically, right? When you get up in the
Usually,
morning?
I usually do at least, yeah.
Okay, so you're getting up about, what, 5:36 a.m.?
I think this year I actually got to get into like 6:37, but
Oh,
it's
okay.
usually my bladder that wakes me up.
Oh,
I have
so
to pee, especially if you've been drinking the night before, and then you
point.
have the dads, which your dads
Okay.
are never fun. You know, dads suck.
The what?
Dads, the day after drinking shit.
Oh.
You don't have the dads? You've never heard of the dads?
No, man, I haven't
heard of that one.
No.
Oh,
I
well,
don't-
they're called the dads, and it's a day after drinking shits, and they suck.
Why? What are they, runny?
Oh, yeah. They're horrible.
So it's just diarrhea?
they have an acronym. I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
the day after
never.
drinking shits.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get up in the morning, give yourself a little baby wipe
Yeah.
down. I think we turned on the arch just to kind of wake ourselves up a little bit and cool off,
All
get
right.
going.
Okay. So you're in the morning, you're just kind of hanging out, eat your food, whatever, and then people are coming through. So the daytime's pretty boring, right? It's just you
No,
guys.
I don't think it's boring. I really don't. One of the reasons I love our camp so much is people come to us. So I like that people come to us. And then a couple times throughout the day, I'd go on my bike, drive around.
Yeah.
Took our bike over to Dinky, got some ice, got to drive around my bike, drove around the city to check everything out.
What's Dinky again?
Dinky, oh my God, I can't believe it.
It's for the people. I know what it is, but it's for the
okay.
people that are
It's
listening.
for the people that
For the people,
Yeah.
do it for the people.
For they don't know.
They have, and there's a lot of different food vendors out there, but the number one is always going to be Dinky. I'm sorry. So obviously, you know, in Mad Max, when they have he's eating the dog food and
Right.
it says Dinky Dive,
Yes.
they give you chili out of the Dinky Dive
Right,
cans.
yes,
and
that's
it's
sweet.
fucking amazing. They have like fried gator. I think they have like kangaroo or alligator
Oh, man,
chili.
that's
Like
cool.
they have a lot of different exotic meats
Yeah.
that come out. They also sell bags of ice.
Well, so that's
ice
why
cold.
you're.
So I
hitting
always
that,
we
yeah.
do our ice runs every morning.
Right.
So in the last time we talked to you, there was this friend that is, I don't know if they're a chef or something, but they make a specific item.
Pudding.
Oh, yeah. Did you get any
No
of that?
pudding. No. I ran into him for like half a minute. I was so disappointed I didn't get my pudding.
What is this person's name again?
His wasteland name is Judas, but his real name is Matthew Morrison.
Judas. Nice. What a
Okay.
good name.
His name is Matthew Morrison. He's an incredible individual.
Okay.
You know, the event's fucking huge. So
Yeah.
it's always
Right.
kind of hard to run into each other. I did run to him briefly, give him a big hug, you know, give a I love you, miss you, bye. But
Yeah,
I
yeah.
did not get pudding this year.
Oh, that sucks.
So disappointed.
Okay.
depressing.
Pudding.
So this is off on a quick tangent.
Yeah, go for it.
But so you mentioned before that there was a woman that was a photographer. But as far as cell phones or smartphones, that's not to say it's prohibited, but do people just kind of immerse themselves in this festival? And, you know, as far as communication goes, they don't really use this. They just kind of run about and try to find people through, you know.
I've seen it where people will like log on to Facebook saying looking for this person.
Oh, all right.
But I've also had more than more people come up and go, hey, do you know where Joe Schmo is? Or do you know where La La Camp is? So I know me personally, as my husband knows, I'm very much call, hello, I'm alive, I love you, miss you, goodbye. My phone goes off.
Yeah.
And I would say majority of the people that I interact with out there are the exact same way.
Okay.
Because to me, I like going out there and you have very little cell service, especially in the middle of the afternoon. It's a bitch to get a call out. People, check in, do whatever they do, but I don't see a lot of people walking around with their phones.
Yeah, because
I think is great.
I imagine it would take a lot of the fun out for if you're like looking for somebody and you could just look them up and they find out
Where they are.
Yeah.
Well, like, it would take because it is kind of nice to just meet new people and
I
just
met
all the
so
interaction.
many rad people this year.
Yeah.
I met some really fucking rad people this year. I mean, I actually got to meet, shout out to Lantern. I don't know if she's going to listen, but I got to meet Lantern. She's fucking rad. Well, someone came up to me and said my real name and they go, Katie. And I was like, who the fuck knows my name at Wasteland?
Who said that?
Literally.
What blasphemies have been spoken
I was
here?
like, who the fuck calls me Katie out here?
Yeah.
And it wound up being someone I had met online. And we have her significant other is a very, very good friend of mine. And we had only talked online. So I got to meet her in person,
That's
which
cool.
was fucking amazing. We talked, I think, for like 2 hours. She's a wonderful, wonderful human being. And then actually an old friend too, I had another person call me Katie and I was like, what is happening? And it was someone I had met many, many years ago at Wasteland and she found me and I got to talk to her.
Yeah.
I met a bunch of really cool rad people who came into our camp. We had one girl who kept coming in probably every day and she and I'd have some really cool conversations every day. Now she and I are Facebook friends. So we can talk in the real world,
Yeah.
That's the one thing I do too. Oh, the neighbor behind me was really cool. I met her day one.
Yeah.
So what I tend to do is meet people organically at the event. And then on the last day or the last time I know I'm going to see them, I go, here, plug in your information on my phone, then turn it back off so that I can talk to them again outside the real world.
So when you go to your campsite, you've never had the same experience around you before. So it's always somebody different every time.
Well, majority of the time. Last year, our next door neighbors were actually wound up being 2 doors down from us this year. And they're fucking rad. That's actually the first person I saw out there was setting up. And his wasteland name is Suicide. And Suicide is the one that's always in the shenanigans who had the tire stolen last year.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Suicide. And I had my back turned him unloading on the U-Haul and he goes, I love seeing Forsaken Nation set up in the morning. And I was like, my buddy. So sometimes it's really kind of a crapshoot. Sometimes you have the same, you can request to be next to people. I think we had talked about possibly doing that again with them, but we're just really stoked that we got to be next to them. The people behind us this year were brand new. And that's the one I was talking about. She and I've met up on Facebook. She's really, really rad. She sat and talked with me for like 30, 45 minutes when I was setting up. And then our next door neighbors were someone called the Shady Traders, who she is a phenomenal, phenomenal human being. And as Joshua will confirm to me, I came home with like armfuls of gifts that she just kept giving me. Literally, she's just like, take this and this and this and this. Like she just wants to give you everything. She's such a cool human being. She and I got to sit and talk a couple times. So I wound up getting Joshua lots of little fun gifts this year.
Oh, yeah, man. I got a lot of cool stuff.
And then I was this is shows you how Wasteland is. Anytime I got kind of something cool, I'd let it go over. I'm like, can I give you this? She's like, I'm so sorry. Like, I'm trying to get rid of stuff. And I was like, I know, but I want to gift you something back. I felt so bad. So Rotten and I went on a ride on the bike with a sidecar, just like way out to the outskirts of the city. So at the very, very end, just to drive around the whole, event and enjoy ourselves. And literally at the outskirts, I found this little tiny barter. I mean, I think it was like 3 people and they had like a clothing rack.
Yeah.
And she's like, no one ever comes out here. We're like, well, we're here. We want to come say hi. And I was flipping through the clothing rack and I found this really rad vest. And I was like, well, this is really cool. And I was like, I didn't bring any barter stuff with me. Like, you know what? Just take it. Just take it. Which is totally a Wasteland community type thing. I was like, that's awesome. Thank you. So I take it back to camp and I stuck it in my stuff. I was like, okay, I'm going to figure out something to do with this. And then I realized like the next day, I was like, this is a little too big for me. Like I can make it work. But then I realized it's going to fit my neighbor perfectly.
Oh, okay.
So then I was able to walk over to my neighbor and I was like, hey, I was just gifted this. Tried on. It fit her like a perfect fucking glove.
Like a glove.
And like, it's such a cool, like I go out to the buttfuck, tent city at the very outskirts. I get gifted something and I'm able to gift it to somebody else. Like that's the way, it worked out there. And it was really cool.
That is a pretty cool
If
story.
only
Yeah.
society functioned like that.
I mean,
Yeah.
I fucking mean.
True. What can regular society learn from the
Wasteland
nomads of the
weekend.
desert,
Yeah,
the
yes.
post-apocalyptic nomads in the desert?
Seriously.
With the ABBA Power Hour.
Yeah, true.
That's all you need to do is go
Shit,
throw
man.
on some fucking shoulder pads, put your hair up in a mohawk, and go get drunk and dance to ABBA.
Yeah.
What else
Yeah.
can you ask
We
for?
need ABBA Power Hour, I think, once a week in the real world. I think that should be a government mandated fucking
Yeah.
Get
order.
out there, get dirty, and listen to some ABBA.
Yeah, exactly. All right. So getting back to Thursday, that's where we left off, I think,
Yeah.
right? So Thursday, did you do anything of note happen on Thursday?
Thursday night.
Okay, Thursday night. Tell me about Thursday night.
Thursday night, one of our tribe mates decided just to kind of call it a night. They were kind of done.
Okay.
So Rotten, the one that has the art and everything, he and
Yes.
I went out. We had a fucking blast.
Yeah, what'd you guys do?
We went over to DXC and hung out there for a little bit. We just wandered around. We ended up in the goat heads and playing foosball. We got really drunk and played foosball.
Yeah,
It was fucking awesome.
That's pretty cool.
And then we walked around and
Was the foosball table all fucked up? Or
it was dinged up and scratched up and everything,
nice.
but they had a couple of it. It was really
That's
fun.
cool.
And then I want to say it was a Bottega Trade Association, and I'm really sorry if it's not. I can't not remember for the life of me. But they had giant Rock'em Sock'em robots that were made out of mannequins. I actually have a picture I will show you guys, and maybe Joshua, you could put this up
Yeah.
on the socials.
Oh, yeah.
It's mannequin heads with a mannequin head that like pops up like the Rock'em Sock'em.
Uh-huh.
They had like wrestling masks on them, and they also had giant dildos attached to them.
All right.
Awesome.
And we're just standing there, and the people are playing, and they're like, "We need one more person." And drunk little me is like, "I'm gonna play with you." And so, our dog is attacking our trash bag.
Hey, get out of there. Get out of there, you son of a bitch. Fucking dogs. Anyway, so I
So
the
I got to
you got in there?
play. So there was one I controlled, I think the torso and the dildo, and my partner controlled the arms.
Okay.
And we won, and it was fucking rad.
Wait, so the goal was to punch. It's like Rock'em Sock'em Robots.
Yeah,
You
literally
just have to
the
punch
mannequin's
head, right?
head pops up when you win.
So what does controlling the dildo do?
And do you smack the other person's dildo?
To do what? To knock it off balance or something?
Because it's Wasteland.
oh,
and
just 'cause it's funny. All right, I guess that makes sense.
I have to see if I can find your picture for you, because I think you would appreciate it.
What
But yeah,
time
that
did
was
you
really
guys
fun.
call it a night on Thursday night?
I want to say probably like 1. I'm
Okay.
showing him the picture right now.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's pretty cool. Dildo fighting fucking robots. Oh man, that's pretty sweet. All right, I'll have to show Adam when he comes back because I think he went to the bathroom. But yeah, send that to me so I'll put it up
Post on
as
the socials.
I'll put it up as the episode thing, the picture or whatever. for the
Okay,
episode.
perfect. But yeah, I mean, Rotten and I just kind of hung out, and we just wandered, and we didn't have any kind of game plan, and we just walked around and see. And again,
Yeah.
most of the camps are open at night, so we just
Right.
kind of wandered around to see what they were up to and what they had to offer, and we had a great time.
Well, that's good. That's good. So you guys go in. What's this now? Friday morning. You get up. Anything of note happen on Friday during the daytime?
No, talking to people, meeting people, having
Yeah.
lots of different barter come in. I did get to see my friend Baby, which was awesome. She had been looking for me.
Okay.
And she and I have a tradition of gifting each other. So I came in, I said, pick out what you want. And then, she wound up coming up, I think it was Saturday or Friday night, one of the two, and giving me something because she found something for me. So it was kind of fun to be able to see her because we always just gift each other things.
Yeah.
Not really. I mean, more the same, walking around, doing shenanigans. Riding bikes,
it was my
bartering.
understanding that last time you had said basically Friday night is your go crazy party night. That's the
Yes.
picture of the dildo fighting with the Rock'em Sock'ems. I mean, that's pretty cool.
It is pretty sweet.
It was so fun.
Yeah. That's cool.
Yeah. So Friday, I don't remember my own name.
Did you guys already talk about who made that?
I believe it was the Bottega Trade Association is the tribe name, and I could be completely wrong.
Do you know anybody personally from?
I have no idea.
Okay.
No.
All right.
I was drunk wandering, and we saw Rock'em Sock'em dildo robots. And I
So-
was like, I want to play.
So Friday night, what do you remember? of
I
Friday
remember
night?
seeing Attack.
Okay, because that's the big draw band that comes
That's
out
always
there, right?
what I see. And then
Okay.
I remember buying Attack gear. And then I remember drinking.
Wait, with actual cash or is it
Oh, so there are approved vendors out there. So we actually went up and think of it like when you go to a concert and they have like a little merch booth. Exact same thing. So they had like a little merch trailer. So we went and bought some stuff. I just remember drinking and having a grand old time. We did. I don't remember what night it was, but we went to Geely's Arcade.
What's in there?
Bunch of different pinball machines, old school games in there. It's a really fucking cool setup. I actually got to meet him this year.
Oh, that's cool.
He was a really cool guy. We talked a couple different times. He came to our camp a couple different times. He's a cool guy.
Yeah. God, that must be a bitch to get out there. All these pinball machines.
Well, you know what? He actually lives out near us. He lives out near us. He lives, I don't know if everybody knows where we live.
I mean, yeah, pretty much.
Okay. He lives out in Riverside.
Oh, okay. Don't shake your head. Everybody fucking knows.
Genie's
our address is.
It's public information. You can look it up.
That's true.
Our
That's true.
address is.
No, don't say that. I mean, make them at least work for it. But fuck.
Yeah.
I think he said he had to make like 3 trips.
Fuck, 3 trips?
Yeah, so I wound up talking to him about the
Jesus.
U-Haul because he has so much stuff to bring out.
Good Lord.
Yeah, and
Fucking
but he has
A.
a fucking rad setup.
How does he just rent a U-Haul or what?
No, he hasn't. And that's why he's asking me about pricing and specs
Oh,
on
yeah,
the
it's
U-Haul. And I
fucking
like let him
expensive
look
shit.
at the back of our U-Haul. But I mean, it's a lot cheaper than having to make 3 fucking trips.
Well, yeah. I mean, if he doesn't.
That's 9 hours of just hauling
yeah,
shit,
just
dude.
driving back and forth, man. Fuck, that sucks.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
So what does he just bring it out in a little truck bed or what?
I believe so, yeah.
Oh, that's crazy.
He just does multiple trips. But you would shit your pants in there. It's really fucking cool.
That sounds pretty awesome.
He has like
I
an
do.
old school jukebox in there.
Oh, man, that's
It's a
cool.
really chill environment. You
Yeah,
just go
yeah.
in there and get drunk and play games.
What does he do for power? Does he have a generator?
I
or-
believe so, yeah. I never asked.
That's interesting. Well, maybe he would be interested to come on since he's
He's a
local
very
around
interesting
here.
fellow. And, he he actually did the artwork for the Attack logo.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, no, I think you would really like him. He'd probably be a good interview. He's a very interesting fellow.
Yeah, well, maybe you'll have to hit him up for us since I don't know anybody.
We're Facebook friends now.
Oh,
so
hey,
you know.
there you go. Yeah, nice.
See, I'm making connections.
See, there you go. That'd be good. That'd be good to talk about to that guy.
Yeah, he seemed really interesting. He has a lot of cool stuff to say.
Yeah, all right. I'm down for that. So maybe look out in the future for that potentially. So, all right. So
Heelys, we need you.
yeah, exactly. So you get drunk, you get shit faced basically, and you have a good time. So you pass out at whatever
I
time. You
don't
probably
even
don't
know.
remember. So Saturday's the next day. Did you guys do anything fun Saturday during the daytime?
It was cold.
Oh, so it was cold. What? Like, how cold would you think it was? Like 50s?
Probably like low 60s, but there was a breeze too.
Okay.
So it was cold. So it was a lot of hanging out of camp, a lot of
You mean there
riding-
was some wind?
there was some breeze.
Yeah. all right.
A lot of hanging out of camp, riding the bike. I do have 2 fun bike stories to tell you.
Oh, okay,
I just
go ahead.
don't
Let me
remember
hear 'em.
what days they ended
Yeah,
up
it doesn't
on.
matter. Doesn't matter. I want to hear.
Bicycle.
Bicycle. I want to ride my bicycle. I want to ride my
Oh man, they are writing the cease and desist right now as we speak.
I was just thinking.
They're just
that
like,
right now.
ooh man, another one. We got him.
Rest in peace, Freddie Mercury.
Oh,
You beautiful, beautiful, beautiful soul.
Yeah.
I was over at Dinky, getting ice, and I believe I was with my trade mate Fuck Socks. I was. Yes, his name is Fuck Socks.
Yeah.
And he even has his own little cap that has a sock.
Yeah, it's fucking
on
hilarious. It's got
dripping
jizz all over the
things.
mouth. It's like it's fucking. That's hilarious. It's got like
okay.
just jizz coming out of the mouth. It's
It's
pretty funny. Fuck socks, man. It's hilarious. Don't shake your head. It's funny. I think it's funny.
Fucking rad. I love Fuck Socks.
I think we should make that a character for Game Rage. The Fuck Socks character.
Yeah, right.
And we were at Dinky, and someone asked if they could have a ride because something had happened with their bike, and I said their actual bicycle.
Yeah.
So they wound up being way on the outskirts, and someone else rode next to us on their bike. And then I dropped her off, went inside and met her tribe mates. And the
Yeah.
guy who rode his bike, he's like, "Can you take me for a ride? This thing looks like so much fun." I was like,
Oh
"Fuck
wait,
yeah."
what is it? It's a beach cruiser or?
Oh, they had like some kind of bicycle. I don't know exactly what it
No,
was.
she has
I have
the motorcycle with the sidecar.
Yeah, I have a motorcycle sidecar
That's made out of a
Oh,
shopping
alright,
cart
alright.
and a wheelchair.
and a wheelchair.
Okay.
Yeah.
So people like to ride my sidecar. It's kind of badass. I actually
Yeah.
got pictures taken of me this year too. And Fuck Socks was the passenger. And he's like, "I love the fact that you're driving and I'm in the bitch seat. Like, that's fucking rad." I'm like, "Yeah, woman power. Woo." So our drive mate asked me to go drive him around. I was like, "Where do you want to go?" "I don't fucking care. I just want to sit in this thing." I was like, "Yeah, for sure." Drove him around for a little bit. And then I come back. And then I don't know if I had talked about previously the banners that you get.
I don't think so.
Okay, so they have someone years ago, I don't even know how it started. They have like the pageant banners, and they'll say like random things on
you mean
there.
like the sashes?
Like sash,
Okay.
yeah, thank you,
Yeah,
sash.
alright.
And I always thought they were cool, but I never really knew how to get one, or like I always kind of secretly wanted one because that was like kind of just one of those small things on my Wasteland bucket list, but I just didn't really know how
Yeah.
it worked. And so I took that guy out, and I came back, and some guy walks up to me, he's like, "Hey, what does it say? And he pointed around to his banner and it said, fuck around and find out. And I was like, fuck around and find out. And he goes, it's yours now. So I was like, oh, okay. So then I come back. The guys have no idea where I am because Fuck Socks was like, yeah, go give her a ride. It's fine. He drops out. I'm just gone for like 30 minutes giving these people rides. I come back and I have a sash on me. And the guy's like, what the fuck? And I'm like, Wasteland Adventures.
And you're like, hey, what's this say?
No, I wound up giving it up to a girl later. She's like, how do you get it? I was like, read it. She's like, oh my God. So I had it, I think, for a couple hours.
Oh, that's cool.
And then another one. Same thing. We're out. It was Fuck Socks and I again, and we're out fucking boonies. We're just driving because it's like this was Saturday,
Okay.
and we're just driving around. I'm like, let's get like one last ride in before the sun really starts to go down. And riding at night is very, very discouraged. You don't want to do that because it's fucking dangerous.
You just like riding on the bike, drunk as hell. You like
right.
crash into a rock.
Right. Like it's not fucking safe.
Yeah.
So I decided, I was like, let's go on one last ride before the event's over. Let's go out and just go anywhere. And we wind up finding this girl who's smashed out of her mind. And she's like, can you help me? I don't know where to go. I don't want to walk around looking for my camp. And I was like, and I look at Fuck Socks. I was like, you want to take her? And he just looks at me and shakes his head. And I was like, fuck you, buddy. He did the quick shake, like the little chihuahua head shake. I'm like, God damn it. I don't want to do this. I was like, yeah, honey, I got you. When I tell you we spent the next 30 minutes driving around looking for her camp. She on the phone with her fiance. Her fiance doesn't know where they are. She's turning me left, right, and center. And then she goes, first she didn't know where her phone was. And then so her phone stopped working or something. So I said, do you want to go back to our camp and you can use my phone? Yeah, can we do that? We go back to our camp. She wound up having her phone on her. And then she kept offering me things. I'll give you the jacket off my back. I'll give you alcohol. Do you want alcohol? And I'm like, I'm driving my bike, honey. Like I can't have a shot right now. I'm out riding. Just let me give you cigarettes. Let me give you I'm like, no, I'm good. I'm good. It's fine.
Yeah.
And like 30 minutes later, I mean, we were out for probably a total of 45 minutes trying to get this girl home. Finally get her back to the camp, and I come back, I was like, I'm done. She left her jacket.
Oh, man. Well, hey, she
left cigarettes.
She did give you the jacket off of her back.
She didn't mean to.
Yeah.
She was just drunker than a skunk. And I was like, you know what? I dropped her off to someone that she apparently knows.
Hopefully.
She's safe.
Okay, let me ask you about that. So, obviously, people are getting... Well, not reckless, but they're
inebriated.
Inebriated, yeah.
Because, some people are problematic with respect to men, right?
Mm-hmm.
There are people that take
It could be women too.
It could be women too, yes.
Yes, but we understand. Yeah, people can be assholes.
Yes.
Is what you're saying.
So that hasn't been an issue at all as well, right? Where people are having a good time and guys haven't taken advantage of women that were drinking or anything like that.
Okay, so this is where I'm going to get honest with you.
Okay.
I have never personally had it to an extent. There are stories that are not mine to tell.
Okay, fine.
Yeah.
That I have heard.
Okay.
I will tell you that I wouldn't say it's a problem out there, but I would be lying to you if I said it hasn't happened out there.
Right.
I will tell you that from my understanding, it's been taken majority seriously. This is kind of what I was getting at when I'm saying I don't really care if there's real police there for incidences like that. I will tell you that I know there have been false accusations. I will tell you that I'm also a very big, staunch believer in Me Too. I would say the way I'll put it to you is I'd say 99% of the people out there are wonderful, but of course, any incidents, you're going to have that 1%. So I will say that there has been stuff done in the past. Again, not my stories to tell.
Yeah, right.
But I'd say majority of it is safe.
Yeah.
But any large event you're going to go to, you're going to just have to be careful.
Yeah.
But dropping off that person that you didn't have any idea, was that in the back of your...
Of course. She's a drunk girl standing in the middle of the thing. Of course I'm going to take care of her.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I think that's why one of the reasons she flagged me down.
Yeah.
And again, 99% of the people she run into out there would have helped her as well.
Right. Yeah.
But, it's better to be safe than sorry. Absolutely.
It's more comforting to have a woman Like,
Of course.
yeah, as opposed to
Of course.
maybe a guy, because you already have your suspicions about guys. Like,
Right.
I mean, not you personally, but I'm just saying in general. Yeah,
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah. All right.
Yeah. So like I said, I mean, they're not my stories to tell. They're not my fingers to point. I'm always a firm believer in believing in survivors.
Yeah.
So are there bad apples out there? Sure. A majority of them
definitely.
gone, of course, you know.
Yeah. Okay.
And
So
one thing I will say is they're very ostracized in the community, which is good. Our community as a whole doesn't put up with that kind of shit.
yeah, that's good. So it's generally safe. You need to be careful. Of
course.
Generally it's good.
Right.
So, okay. So then those are your bike stories. So then Saturday night, you guys kind of just hang out because you're not trying to get too crazy because you got to clean up the next day,
So
right?
Saturday, like usually when the sun goes down is when we personally start breaking down a lot of stuff, like
Right,
taking down
okay.
the decorations that don't really matter, putting away some of the barter stuff. And then we wound up, honestly, because it was so cold, we ended up just hanging up in our new mess tent that we had, putting a lantern in there, drinking and just hanging out. But we
Yeah.
had a great time. We were up till probably 1, 2 in the morning and just sat and talked about life and just
Yeah.
hung out with each other.
All right. That's
It was
cool.
a rad experience.
Yeah. So now we're winding down to the end of the event. What on the day you guys have to break down everything? Were there any major injuries on that day?
No.
Man.
No.
You guys
OSHA compliance.
I mean, I had already bled profusely. What else do you
Right.
need from me?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, there's a craziness could happen.
no, I mean, nothing really broke. Nothing. No.
Do you think that would have to be attributed to the fact that giant structure with the heavy wooden beams is
I'm
no
sure.
longer a factor?
100%.
Because if you drop one of the little tiny
Majority
metal
of the
poles,
injuries we had
were from that. Yeah.
and then and Bricktus, the other one, he's the one that had the beam, and then he's also
Yeah.
sprained his ankle. We also rake our campsite
Right, okay.
now this year, so there's not a lot of like holes and things.
Oh, that's good. That's smart.
So there was no broken ankles or sprained ankles or
That's good.
I mean cuts, bruises, nicks, burns. That's if you
Yeah.
don't come home with one of those, you didn't Wasteland right, bro.
True. That's a good.
I'm only half kidding.
Very good point. No, it's probably actually a very good point.
Seriously, yeah, you're good. I mean, you're in the middle of the goddamn
Yeah.
desert. You're gonna get.
If you come back clean and with no injuries,
And
you
then
fucked
you
up.
didn't-
You didn't do it right. There is a wrong way to Wasteland, and that's it right
the
there.
only wrong way to Wasteland.
Yeah.
It's like showing up with, like the bubble wrap. And
Oh,
just
yeah.
I just have a permanent shower over
Yeah.
me and then
Yeah.
bubble wrap, and that's how I
Yeah.
enjoy them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
How grimy do you feel at the end of the
yeah.
event?
Oh, it's the worst. I feel so. I don't really. When you're out there, you don't think about it.
True.
You know, everyone is as filthy and disgusting as you. Everyone smells. I love you, Stinky. Everyone reeks. Everyone's dirty. Everyone's filthy. To me, I don't realize it until I put on like jeans and a t-shirt and I'm getting ready to drive home. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm in the real world. I fucking smell. I look fucking disgusting.
Yeah.
It's once I get into a car for the first time in a week and I put on like quote unquote real clothes for the first time in a week that I go, oh shit, I'm fucking nasty as shit right now.
Extra crusty.
Yeah,
And my
extra
kid
crusty.
won't hug me when she sees
Oh, yeah.
me. Like I get so excited to see my kid when I come home. Mom, you stink. Get away from me.
All right. So I know you have questions.
No,
but
go ahead.
I want to follow up. So, once you get I know we're getting a little bit ahead, but is there something you want immediately after getting out of Wasteland Weekend? Like food wise, is there something you're like, oh man, I want like a real meal? Like, I don't know
Right,
what that
right.
could, yeah.
There has been a tradition, and my number one tribe mate, best friend, sidekick could not go with me this year because she was with child. She just had a baby.
Oh, nice.
Healthy baby boy.
Congratulations.
Yeah, she's doing
Congratulations.
awesome.
Very much congratulations to the new tribal member of a Wasteland
Who
family.
knows? Yeah. I mean, yeah, that could be the case.
Yeah.
She and I, every year when it's one of the cities that we would stop by on the way home, there's a Burger King.
Okay.
And the first couple of years we went to Burger King, the people looked at us like we were fucking crazy. Like, who the fuck are you guys? Why are you gross and filthy and disgusting? And then finally, a couple of years later, they go, you're doing that Wasteland thing, aren't you? We're like, yeah.
You're like, goddamn right.
So I was going to stop there this year, but I was driving home by myself on the U-Haul down the Cajon Pass, and it just didn't feel right to not go with her. So I wound up just getting
her
some snack.
wasteland name is Piston, right?
Piston. Mhm.
So shout out to Piston.
Shout out to Piston for
with a
fucking
new
sure.
with a new tribal member.
Yeah, hell yeah.
The tribal chief. The tribal chief.
yeah.
Will
Wait,
be
has she actually
waiting.
been christened or with their wasteland name?
She picked hers.
Okay.
Yeah, she picked hers.
That's actually kind of cool because it's like
Yeah.
somebody picked it for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, she picked hers. So I just stopped at a gas station and wound up having to go to 2 different gas stations because I couldn't figure out how to work a gas station because I couldn't figure out where the pump was because I'd also had
Man.
no sleep and I was like
Forgot-
covered in 20 pounds of dirt.
Out of civilization for 1 week and immediately forgets how to use a gas pump.
I had to go to the bathroom. I couldn't find a bathroom. Like it was a thing. It was a thing. I couldn't figure out how to get home from the maps because my
right.
phone wasn't working properly.
And what's so as far as the mood goes, because when you're driving there, you're like, oh, I got to get to Wasteland.
Yeah.
You're trying to get there with urgency, but coming
Right.
back, well, what are the feelings?
I
that
cry
are
every year.
Oh, what? Really?
I do.
Even
do.
like on the drive home?
So I cry every year. So I listen to Wasteland Radio as I'm pulling off. And I listen to Wasteland Radio. Sometimes I've left after Wasteland Radio is already done. We're like, yeah, peace out, fuckers. And then it's all static.
Yeah.
And like this year, they played a little bit longer. So I literally just drive down the dirt road until Wasteland Radio stops playing.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's
And
it's
I
kind of
cry.
depressing actually.
Yeah. And then like all of a sudden you just realize like there's nothing more. And I
it's
cry.
done.
I cry every year on that dirt road. Once I'm on the road, I'm usually fine, but I cry when I'm in the dirt.
Excuse me, but we just heard some really interesting information that I didn't know.
Wasteland has a radio station.
Yeah, how does that work? So
They have a guy out there who broadcasts
and what station? What's the number?
88.3.
88.3, eh? Wait, how big is the radius though? Is it only like 5 to 10 miles?
All
I'd
right, so
say-
you
yeah,
know,
yeah, it's
you know
small.
how you have you can have that transmitter that
You guys
like
talk
it's
about this for a
usually
second.
yeah, all right. It's usually it's 88.3 or like 88.7 and when you're within the proximity, if you're transmitting to that with this little device, it'll play it on there. So it's probably not a legitimate, obviously licensed.
Yeah, I was gonna say the FCC would come after.
Oh yeah, they could. Well, I think those two, because like, okay, you know when you go and you see somebody who's got the Christmas decorations says tuned to 88.7 and then it plays the music over it, right?
Yeah.
I think those, I'm not 100% versed in this, so maybe I'm wrong, but I think those 88.3 or 88.7 are designed for that. I feel like that's what the FCC allows them for open broadcasting of local stuff because it's only within like whatever the power of your transmitter is. So if your shit's usually it's probably like a mile, and that's it.
Well, it's just cool. It's just cool.
It's cool as fuck, yeah, that
It's
there's a
cool
radio
thinking
station.
about it. It's like,
Well, when we go, we need to hit that guy up and be like, hey man, let's do a program on your fucking thing when
well,
we go.
no, I mean, shit.
Like, that'd be fun just to do it.
Even driving out and
you're hearing it?
You have the soundtrack for the end of the.
Oh, yeah.
And you're just like, Apocalypse Radio. This is the
Dude, wouldn't that be genius of the radio stations that are out there that actually have signal? If they did every Wasteland weekend, they do like a Wasteland playlist on the
Well, I'll
day
tell you,
in
like
and then the day
restaurants
out.
in the cities do like Wasteland themed food.
Oh, okay, that's
Like
smart.
there's a coffee shop out there that do like different kind of coffees.
Oh, okay.
I know there's a pizza shop that if you showed up in cost, you even got a discount.
Oh shit, that's pretty dope.
Oh no, the radio station. I didn't realize we didn't talk about the radio station. The radio station's fucking rad. During the day, they play weather reports. They do interviews with bands
Oh, that's cool.
and performers that are coming on. They go over the schedule. They play a lot of old school 1950s, 1960s radio commercials.
Yeah.
oh, like a Fallout thing, like the video.
Yeah,
game
so they'll be
Fallout?
like, you'll wonder where the yellow went when you brush your teeth with Tressident.
Yeah. Okay.
And
All right,
they'll have like
that's cool.
fake advertisers like, come down to Geiger Counters Unlimited. You go get your Geiger to find that Fallout. It's really rad. So they do that during the day. At night, they obviously play a lot of like party rock music.
So-
And then from like 2 to 7 a.m., they play like really weird shit.
Yeah.
And funny story about that actually, like, because there's been times I wake up before 7, I'll just sit there and listen to the radio and they'll literally say, why the fuck are you up at this hour? And they'll just play like weird, like chanting music or just really weird
cool.
shit. And one morning I woke up, I think it must have been Saturday morning because I remember being hungover. And I was sitting there listening and they're like talking about inmates and how they had to go to psych hospitals and in Pennsylvania. And it was like this really weird interview. And I'm like, what? And I listened to it for a good 20 minutes. I'm like, what the fuck are they playing? This is new. I wasn't even on 88.3.
Oh, you were on some other channel?
And it didn't even click in my head because it was so early. I'm like, they play weird shit when it's still early in the morning. I don't know what's happening.
So I don't know if this actually happens, but it'd be kind of cool if they could like list off itinerary.
They do.
Oh, they do? Okay.
Yeah, of course.
That's cool.
Multiple times a day, they go over the schedule of what's happening. They do the official and unofficial schedule. So the official schedule is what Wasteland Weekend themselves put on, and the unofficial schedule is what people like us add to it. So if I'm having something at my camp, I can say unofficially or at 12 noon, come to my camp to come do XYZ.
So do you have to go walk up to him and then be interviewed, or you just tell them like, oh, we have this thing going on?
So the unofficial schedule goes out online before the event happens, and someone puts it all together so they have that copy in front of them.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool.
I don't know about the interview. I know they have interviewed band members before. They'll interview. Jared gets interviewed every year on Sunday. So usually you listen to like Jared's wrap up interview while you're breaking down.
Yeah.
Who's that?
The leader, like the runner of the event.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm. Cool.
He usually talk about like how many attendees came and the weather and just like a wrap up of the season.
Right. So overall, this year, I can't say out of sports entertained because what? I mean, we could do it.
No, it's all right.
I mean, out of 10, what would you rate this year's Wasteland Weekend for you?
8.5.
8.5 out of 10. Where has there been any 10s?
Oh, yeah. But there's been less than 8.5s. And the only reason I say 8.5 is because Piston wasn't there.
Okay, so that takes it down.
And a good friend of mine, the one I was speaking of earlier, wasn't there. So that, to me personally, is the only reason that it was a little bit down. But I mean, it was a damn good year. I just missed those two pieces of my soul there.
Yeah. So now I know you're not meaning this, but see, what I take is that, Rotten's not good enough. He's just.
Oh my God, shut the fuck up. I had a whole night just dedicated to Rotten tonight. I mean, literally, it was kind of cute. I think it was Friday night because it was still. This must have been Friday night because we didn't go out Saturday night. This was a drunken shenanigan brain thing that just popped in my head.
Okay, let's hear it.
It was me, Fuck Socks, and Rotten, and we're all so cold, and we're in DXC, and they have a porch swing there, and we all curled up on the porch swing and just sat there and cuddled and swang for like 30, 45 minutes. I literally had no voice Friday night. So I remember talking to Lady of DXC, and she couldn't understand. Like, I could not talk to her. So I'm literally having to whisper in Rotten's ear, who's sitting next to me, so he could whisper to her what I was saying because I had no voice.
Yeah.
No, I know. I had a great time. And Piston and I have gone together for 10 years. So it was just weird not having her there. Yeah. It was a totally different experience. I'm glad I went.
Right. Okay.
And I learned a lot, but and maybe 8.5. I say 9. It was almost close to perfect. It was a really, really great year. I had a great time.
How has Sparky changed this year in terms of character?
Ooh, good one.
Character development.
Dun. I'd say Sparky in 2011 to like 20. I don't even say 19 was the wild, crazy party child. I was like if I'm not drinking and staying up till 5 a.m., fuck you. Mm-hmm. I'd say the last couple of years, Sparky's become a lot more sociable. Yeah. I'm a lot more of like, I just want to meet people. I want to hear your stories. I want to tell stories. I'd say she's become more the mama bear.
Yeah.
I'd say, I've calmed down a little bit. I still want to go drunk and get party and dance and have fun, but I'm more about like the quality of time versus the quantity of time that I'm doing something.
Right. Okay.
I don't have to spend every single second doing something amazing out there anymore. I can have 5 minutes where I sit down and relax.
Yeah.
Because the times I am doing something, I'm appreciating the quality versus the quantity.
And how you appreciate the event hasn't, since you have transitioned more to this role.
Right.
Do you feel like you appreciate it more? Or just the same as
I think just the same, because to me, and one thing I've had to learn really throughout the years is Wasteland the way you want to.
Okay.
So when I was in my 20s, I'd go home and see on social media how all these amazing people did all these really fucking cool things. And why wasn't I there when that happened? And that would have been cool. And fuck, I didn't. But then I look back and realized like I had a really fucking good time. I don't need to have FOMO. And ever since that moment, my perspective has completely flipped, and I just Wasteland my way now and what I want to do at Wasteland. So I feel like I've grown with the event the event's still the same as it was. It's still an amazing time. It's still a huge transformative experience. It's still, to me, a complete mental break from the real bullshit of the world. I mean, it's not something I plan on ever stopping doing anytime. It truly is a part of me, and I'm very proud to say that I'm a Wastelander. But to me now, I've grown with the event so much that when the event was small and a baby is when I was a little party girl. And now that the event has kind of matured, I feel like I've matured with it. And I really realized Wasteland is what you make of it. If you're into the lore aspect, go lore your fucking head off.
Yeah.
If you're into the partying aspect, party until the sun comes up. You do you, boo. I'm more the social person. I like the social aspect of it. And I'm really coming out of my shell and meeting all people of walks of life, all walks of life. And it's fucking rad to me. And that's what I cherish about it.
Yeah.
And drinking and playing, rock stock and robots with dildos.
And since you mentioned the person that runs Wasteland Weekend themselves, since they get interviewed, has there been more growth for the attendance of the event? And has the city itself expanded?
Oh, massively. Massively. So 2010 was the first Wasteland, and it was in somewhere called H Park. It was rented land.
Yeah.
And I believe my first Wasteland, which was 2011, because the event started 2010. Yeah. My first Wasteland for 2011, I want to say had no more than 400 people. I think that would really, really cap it. I believe, because the year I didn't go was 2014. I believe that might have been the last year at H Park. I believe it was. 2015, they bought a plot of land and they own it now. And the event's just grown exponentially. If you look at pictures and videos of 2011 to what it is now, you wouldn't even be able to tell that it's the same event. It's grown. And I mean, Wasteland has done a great job of it too, but I really have to do a huge shout out to the tribes. They're the ones that bring out 90% of it without all the other camps. Like, we're a small camp and we do a small thing, but we're still a huge part of a lot of people's experience. But a lot of my experience is these other camps that bring out these massive fucking bills and the artistry that goes into it and the amount of time, effort, and money and creativity that goes into it. The event's exploded.
Yeah.
And I don't see it stopping anytime soon. That's one thing I look forward to every year is I like to go and see the staples of what I know is going to be there, but I also like to see what everyone else has brought.
Right. What the new stuff is.
What the new stuff is.
All right. So you mentioned you've met a lot of people and there's always, I imagine there's a lot of surprises or things you thought you'd never see happen at the event itself. So were there things that you were just completely surprised by, either some kind of creation that somebody made, a piece of art or something along those lines, like an artifact of the event itself?
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, that's a really good one. I will say one of my biggest awe moments, and people are probably going to laugh at me, would probably be the Thunderdome. And the reason I say that is in 2012 and 2013, I camped with the original Thunderdome.
Okay.
And we have almost a playground playground down. I fought in that dome, and back in 2012 when G4 TV was a big thing, and Attack of the Show was a big thing, they came out and filled the Thunderdome, and Pistons actually on TV from it. So it was really fucking cool to be like the baby start of that experience. And then the reason people will probably laugh at me is because they have been around for Burning Man for many, many years, but it's called Death Guild. They bring out this Thunderdome that is astronomical. They have people on bungees and jumping up, and you have several stories high that you can climb. So to see that amount of creativity and ingenuity is mind-boggling to me. And I think even just little staple things, like I always am still a child and all like when I see the Wasteland Gates light on fire. Like I've seen it for so many years, but it still just blows my mind. And I'm not a car person, but to see, I can't wrap my mind around how people can come up with these ideas.
Yeah.
I really can't. And how they can come up with it and just execute it just boggles my mind.
Yeah. I mean, it'd be really cool to see, because obviously there's like all these staples that exist within Wasteland Weekend with tribes and landmarks to go visit.
Right.
So I imagine it'll only get more robust, like as people come up with more ideas. I mean, I'm
Right.
sure people think throughout the year, oh man, when I go back to Wasteland Weekend, I want to do X, Y, or Z to add to the event. Like,
You should see us. We all, I've been going since 11, and the people we camp with now, we've been officially camping with since 16. You should see our fucking setup in 2016. We have plastic camo netting, a cardboard sign, like a wedding canopy thing. And now you look at us, we have this giant, huge shade structure. We have three, I don't know how you would explain it. Two giant stage structures, the best way to put it. We have tables and tables of barter. We have the arch. We have a name for us. We have a light up sign. Even just our growth is insane. You look at someone like DXC who started small. Now they have fucking ceiling fans. It's every year you want to grow because you grow with the event. And I think that's really fucking cool. And I've seen other camps grow over the years. And then you get these camps that pop up out of nowhere and it's their first year and they look like they've been doing this for 20 years. And some of them probably have from other events.
Yeah.
So it's really cool.
So how about the community aspect beyond just the event itself? Because I imagine these relationships and friendships that you forge with people go beyond the event. So how are you communicating with these people, and what are the things you guys are talking about, and how do you carry yourselves over until the next Wasteland Weekend?
Oh, that's a good question. My tribe mates and I, we talk obviously about logistics, and it started off that way where we just would talk about logistics. Like, we need to do this next year. What are you packing? And then the more you spend time with each other, you become friends, where Wasteland is a thing you do together, so we just talk about life and we send each other pictures. And my really, really good friend that wasn't here this year, unfortunately, we met out there, and then we actually became really close when something happened in my personal life. My grandfather died, and he reached out to me via social media. We had never really talked. It's like we met at the event, we added each other as friends, and we stopped talking. That's just kind of how it was. And he reached out to me about my grandfather's death. And the next thing you know, it's 10 years later, we're consider each other incredibly close, almost best friends, basically best friends. Like, we're tell each other everything, So, you're going to have those relationships where you just go and be like, that's my Wasteland friend. It's so good to see you, catch up. But then you're going to have these relationships that come outside of it, that you just become a true friend and you just happen to meet at this event.
And as far as the communication goes, where are people meeting? Is it Facebook groups, or is it
Oh, yeah, majority probably. I think there's a Discord. Is that a thing?
Yeah.
I think there's Reddit, there's Instagram, there's TikTok, there's Facebook, but I'd say a majority of it is on Facebook. There's 1.5 million now Wasteland Weekend pages.
Okay.
But the way I tend to meet people is either, I know I said I met someone this time through social media, it's because of my good friend. But I just meet people in person. I love meeting people in person. I think that is when they come up and say hi, I'm like, sit the fuck down and tell me your life story. Let's learn, know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So,
I have one more. I have one more.
Go ahead.
So, to satiate, to ease your hunger for the next Wasteland, there are events that people can go to.
Correct.
Throughout the course of the year. Then
correct.
I don't know if they're official or unofficial, but they are they're not in association with Wasteland Weekend itself, but they
correct. Yes. I don't know a lot of them. I don't have the time nor money to do anything other than Wasteland. I know, like, there's a Pacific Northwest decompression party that they do, and it's just Wastelanders who put that on. I know the Juggers used to do something in the winter. I don't know if they do that anymore, but there's a lot. People do it in different states now. There's a lot of just different community-based events that are community-run events now to kind of scratch that itch, so to speak.
Even beyond the event, there are people that are just taking initiative and creating events for people to get them over to the next thing. And
everybody that goes there is a creative genius.
Yeah, that's cool.
And they really are people who take initiative and don't back down from things, and they took the bull by the horns, and there's a lot of really rad events out there now.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
I mean, it'll hold you over to
Yeah, to get to the next event.
One thing I look forward to.
Got it. You need to hit a Wasteland,
Well,
man.
they used to have it in person. We did 1 year in person, then COVID hit, and it's been via Zoom, though, but it's called Ground Zero, and it's where tribe leads get to meet together on a Zoom and get to talk all things Wasteland, and we get to talk with the staff about questions, comments, concerns, and that really helps me a lot, too, because like I feel like my voice is important, and I get validated, and I get heard, and I get questions answered, so that helps a lot, too.
All right, last question. So, as far as you know, are there people, besides maybe some of the documentaries made by people from Wasteland, are there podcasts that exist are there podcasts or YouTube channels that exist that kind of...
The two that I really know of are the Apocalypse Post, which is the one by Makeshift that has our shade structure. He's, like I said, he does kind of like the official videography and everything. He's done a lot of really cool stuff for that. And then shout out to my friend Monkey. He goes by Hatter. I've known him for Monkey for a million years, so I told him at Wasteland this year. He actually ran for mayor, and he didn't get it. And I was mad. I had to sign up for him and everything.
Oh, that's
but
nice.
I've known him as Monkey before the event, so he'll forever be Monkey to me. He and one of his buddies do Wasteland Talk, I believe was what it's called.
Okay.
And they have a podcast that they do about Wasteland as well.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I mean, might as well plug
Go
them.
look them up.
Yeah, might as well
Go
give them a
check them
shout out.
They're all rad people.
Yeah. All right. Well, anyways, Josh.
Okay, so now I know after literally as soon as you guys leave the event, Rotten is texting you on Facebook saying, "Hey, what you guys are out, just got out the gate. Hey, this is what I think we should do next year, right?"
I do the same thing.
Yeah, so it's been 3-4 months since it happened. So. What does the future hold for 2024 Wasteland Weekend for the Forsaken Nation? Is there anything new in the works? Is there any improvements that you guys have already discussed that you can give us a little preview of?
Personal improvements. We're talking about possibly a new bike build.
Okay.
That's kind of the biggest thing right now.
So potentially a new motorcycle.
A new motorcycle to join the family.
To the collection.
To add to the family.
We're thinking about building a tank.
Hey, man.
We want a fucking flamethrower.
I'd be down for one of those bulldozers, like the killdozer, like, with the flamethrower on it. I'd be down.
I mean, honestly, we've worked our complete asses off the last couple of years of really getting like the core of our camp done. And so now I think it's going to be a lot more of just like a bike's not a small detail, but like fun things like that now.
Accoutrements to go with it,
It'll be the fun stuff now.
Okay, awesome. All right, so for now, I think this is pretty much going to be the end of the episode, right? So unless anybody had anything else to add real quick before we roll out of here.
Fuck you.
All right, fuck you. So obviously this podcast is not going to be necessarily very consistent because, it's Wasteland related. So,
right.
I would like to, if possible, get a couple people from Wasteland on, maybe other people that you go with, maybe even Piston or
Rotten.
Maybe even Rotten would like to join us one of these days.
Maybe I can get you breakfast, the man, the myth, the legend himself.
I mean,
almost got a concussion.
That'd be sweet too if we could talk to him or whoever else. So
Heelys, we need you.
These episodes will be, sparse and spread out, but we will definitely put up and post when the new episodes go out, as rare as they may be. However, one way that you can guarantee that you'll know is if you just hit the stupid little subscribe button on the Apple iTunes or the whatever Spotify or whatever podcast listening service you prefer.
If you want to hear me again, make sure you subscribe.
Yeah, really. Listen, we know people don't subscribe for us, but
My
for you at least,
radio
I think
voice that I have.
Yeah,
over
I
here.
think people would at least subscribe for you. So, anyways, thank you guys for listening. Yes, you can go to all of our shit, Game Rage Magazine, blah, blah, blah. You can hear us there, but support Wasteland Weekend.
Woohoo!
Buy your tickets early.
Woo!
Don't wait until the last minute and have to pay extra because
That's
that
what
fucking
happened
sucks.
to us this year.
That was dumb. That was like an extra $100.
I literally got all of our camp set up. I got us approved. I got the U-Haul done, and I was like, "Fuck, I haven't bought my ticket yet."
Yeah, so that sucks. So, anyways, thanks again for listening. We hope you guys have a great one, and we'll see you on the next episode.
Bye.
That was Into the Waste. Thanks for listening.